Okay, let's get real. Alright, this is a special video dedicated to Lucas, the amazing Lucas. So if y'all know him, make sure that, you send it to him so that he could understand. One thing he said on his video, when he said he triggered the ma'am community, and yes, I'm a big fan of Lucas's, so I'll be posting it on his comment section too. Okay, he said that it must be parents that are indoctrinating this crazy shit in our kids' minds. Well, Lucas, you remember how you were talking about Jussie Smollett and like including a whole realm of people? Well, you just included the wrong parent. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm real about mine. I'm real with my children. And where my children get it from is from school and they stupid ass friends who have stupid ass parents that don't pay attention to them, apparently, and let them believe whatever they want to believe. Now, I have conversations with my children and I set them correct, okay? I have conversations with my kids that no parent wants to have. Okay, and you not being a parent, you wouldn't understand what that means. But the other parents out there, they're going, oh God, I could just imagine. Yes, girl. Okay, you could just imagine. That's for real, for real. Okay, the other day my daughter came home, and this is another, topic on another reel with Robo. But my daughter came home, and she said, Mom, I'm pansexual. I was like, you what now? Because it caught me off guard because I wasn't ready to have the little sex chat just yet. She only 12 for fuck's sake. 13, 12, whatever. I'm a mother of 6, and moms, you know how that go. We forget everything. We get to the point in our life where close enough. If you're a year off, you're like, I got it. But anyway, she come home, she said, I'm pansexual. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, okay, girl, babe, we need to go down and get her a set of pants because she ain't fucking with my pants. And she was like, Mom, that's not what it means. And I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't never heard what it was. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, what the fuck it mean then? I was like, what it mean? And she was like, it means that I'm sexually attracted to men, women, transgender men, transgender women, after the operation men, and after the operation women. I said, so basically what you're telling me is that you're attracted to men and women, so you're bisexual. She was like, no, Mom, there's a difference. It's pansexual. And I was like, no, it's called bisexual. Stop confusing yourself. If you're attracted to a male or a female, that is bi. It doesn't matter what you put on the end of that, or how many cherries on top of that, or what kind of icing on top of it. It's called bisexual, not pansexual, not areola sexual, not Aries sexual, not Zeus, Hera, or any of those motherfuckers sexual. Okay? It means you're bisexual. And then she was like, well, Mom, my friend is asexual. And I was like, what the fuck is she, a sea cucumber? And she was like, Mom, no. And I was like, a sponge? I mean, what we working with? She a coral? Help me understand it. She was like, no, Mom. It means that she does not want to have sexual relations with anything but herself. I said, well, then she is a masturbator. And I'm not talking about going out fishing. And that's when my son just started cracking up. He was just on the floor. He was all, Mom, that was sad. Masturbator, that's great, Mom. You're great. And I was like, thank you. You got to appreciate the little jokes in life. I was like, she's called a masturbator. Okay? That's called masturbation. And if she doesn't believe in having sex with anyone, including herself, that's called celibate. And she was like, no, Mom, it's asexual. I was like, no, dear. I've been on this earth for 43 years. I think I know a little bit more than you do, honey. It's called masturbation, if she's only having sex with herself. Or it's called celibacy if she's having sex with no one. And she was like, Mom, I'm so confused. And I was like, all right, let me break it down to you, kid. You have your heterosexual, which is only attracted to the opposite sex. Okay, so if you're a boy, you like girls. If you're a girl, you like boys. Then you have your homosexual, which you're only attracted to the same sex. So if you're a girl, you like girls. If you're a boy, you like boys. Then you have your bisexual, which is if you're a girl, you like boys and girls. And if you're a boy, you like boys and girls. See how that works? I said, and then there's celibacy, where you don't want to have sex with anybody. You're saving your virginity for someone special. Okay? I said, and then there's masturbation, which means you're having sex with yourself. And she's all, thank you, Mom. My teacher has me so confused on what the hell is going on. And I was like, it's fine. And then she was, but I also wanted to inform you that I'm two-spirited. I'm like, you're what now? You say what? And even my husband was looking at her like, do we need to get a priest, babe? And I'm like, what the fuck is two-spirited? And she was like, oh, that's where I have a male and a female spirit inside of me. I'll say, well, you better divide those male and female spirits and get one to wash the dishes and the other one to put them away, or you finna levitate your possessed ass to ass whooping. Trust and believe that, young lady. And then my husband was like, on the phone, I'm like, what you doing? He was like, I'm calling a priest. Fuck this shit. And I was, get off the phone. Get off the phone. He's so silly. But then found out two-spirited, what they're saying in schools is that you have a male and a female spirit in you, and it comes from Native American beliefs. And that is where I got triggered, Lucas. I really got sincerely triggered because I believe in Native American beliefs, and I told her no. I said, you do have a feminine side and you do have a masculine side. And it's okay to be a woman and accept your masculine side. And it's okay to be a man and accept your feminine side. But you are a man or a woman. Period. Native Americans believe that we have two spirits inside of us. One is good and one is evil. And the one that creates our character is the one that we cater to or feed. Meaning if you do good things, then your good character grows and you get used to doing good things. If you do bad things, then that character grows and you get used to doing bad things. Blase, blase, blase. I'm not here for religious purposes. But this is what I go through as a parent. And I said, they're wrong. There are 3 sexes. There is male, there is female, and there is hermaphrodite, which is both. And yes, they are born with both the pee-pee and the wee-wee. Okay? And my daughter was like, no, Mom, there's also no. Just cut that off right now, because you're confusing yourself again, young lady. Regardless if they're transgender, they're either a male or a female. If they were a male and now they're a female, respect them and call them a female. It's okay to call them ma'am. If they were a female and now they're a male, it's okay to call them sir. Okay? I said, but there is male, there is female, there is hermaphrodite. That's it. There's no two-spirited, there's no 16-spirited, and if there's anything such as two-spirited, then that bitch need a priest. That's for real. That's on the rip. And she was all, Mom, my friends and my teachers have me so confused. And I'm calling them on Monday from some of the things I've been hearing. and telling them I do not appreciate them teaching my child identity politics. I do not appreciate them teaching my child that it's okay to apologize for being white. And I don't appreciate my child coming home and saying that people are calling him the N-word. And believe me, Lucas, my child whiter than the driven snow. All right, if you talk about white, this boy is like pure white. He is like a sack of milk. Like that, a meat sack of milk. Blue eyes, blonde hair, all that. Well, it's changing to brown now, but all that. But I decided, since you've been so nice to listening to me, I'm going to do you a favor. Me and my husband been talking about it. And I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to help you out here. The way you could scientifically prove and state your case to that female about the uterus and what's scientifically wrong about it. One, as my husband said, the genetics, the XY chromosome, is so way different than all the cells and the genes in a uterus that they're just not compatible. They're just not, I mean, I don't even know how to say anything else to that, explain it further on. They're just not compatible. So during transplant, the uterus would be kicked out anyway, and the male's body would eventually attack it because it's just not supposed to be in there. It's not part of the body. It's not an acceptable part of the body, and it has a different genetic makeup. Now, my argument is this. Okay, say freak of nature happened, because I know you like your little say freak of nature happens, but say a freak of nature happens, and the male's body accepts the uterus. One, males don't have ovaries or fallopian tubes, so they would never be able to get pregnant by themselves. Now follow me, Lucas, it's going to get hairy here. Okay? So what the doctors would have to do is implant an embryo into that body. Okay? Freak of nature, the body accepts the uterus, everything is going fine, they find a new superwoman drug, and, you know, boom, bam, boom, right? They would have to implant an embryo into that person's uterus. Because one, if they put an egg in there, that would throw the body's hormones for a sincere loop. Sincere loop. Because men do not have menstruation, and that means men do not release eggs. And that means the chemical compounds and the hormones that are needed to release those eggs into the system would just be like, oh my God, a body shock. Even on the toughest man. So they would have to take an actual embryo, implant it into the uterine wall. Well, one, since it's not that man's uterus, and because male genetics cannot, even with hormone treatment, cannot say, okay, hey, you know, it's time to fill up the uterus with blood, the embryo would die. But we're going to take a best case scenario here, okay? Let's say freak of nature happened again. Weep. Freak of nature happened and the embryo actually got enough blood to sustain life, okay? It's freak of nature. You know, somehow they found a super hormone and it just pumped a whole lot of blood into the uterine wall to sustain the embryo. So freak of nature happened, we're moving forward, and the baby starts growing inside. The skeletal system of a male, the pelvic area in particular, would end up crushing the baby to death. Because when you look at the skeletal pelvic area of a female, when that's an actual female, not that was transgendered into one, but an actual one, and a male, you will see that the male's hips are not as wide. The pelvic area is not as open. So, like, you know that old joke about, oh, them some childbearing hips. That's real. That means the pelvic area is really large and can sustain any kind of baby. Well, men don't have that. And men's bodies aren't used to stretching and moving and grooving. And even though they have vaginal canals and vaginas, they do not have the hormones. There's no super hormone in order to open up that area and stretch it. So it will literally tear that surgery apart, trying to give birth. But it wouldn't sustain life in the beginning for so many reasons. So that's what you could tell that person that was asking you about scientifically why and what would be wrong with the uterus being in a man's body. The hormones alone that would be needed to be sustaining of that uterus will fuck them up. Never mind if they tried to have a baby. They wouldn't get past transplant because the male genetic system would tear that uterus in half. Literally. And no sex jokes, I'm being real there. So, my point being here today, you get nice things when you're being nice, Lucas. Let's not be like Jussie and include a whole realm of people by saying, I know where they're getting it from. They're getting it from their parents. Because they're really not. They're getting it from schools. They're getting it from ignorant ass people that aren't parents. And they're getting it from teachers and their friends who have ignorant ass parents. Thank you. And thank you for being patient with Real with Robo. Have a nice day. Also, if you're going to clown me, I would prefer you call me ma'am. Okay? Thank you.